Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. So, I am in my boys' bathroom and I'm painting the tile floor. As you can see, I have primed it so I'll go through the steps actually right now from start to finish. So, excuse me. So I have, I swept it or vacuumed it, and then I cleaned it with Dixie Belle White Lightning. There you go. And you just mix it with hot warm water. And I used a scrub, like a scrubby thing. You can use, what is it, steel wool, depending on what you're cleaning, of course. Hi, Sharon. And so I cleaned the floor really, really well, and that's like the biggest part, the prep of cleaning your piece or your tile, of course, because there's oils and dirt and grime and years of whatever on the floor. So I cleaned it really well and scrub, and it also, it's like I want to say it's like a deglosser, but it doesn't say it on here. But anyway, so I use that first, and you can get this, all the products that I'm showing you right now, you can get from the link that I used in my intro, okay? So I did that, I cleaned it really well, I let it dry, and then I used this slick stick from Dixie Belle, and it adheres to, what does it say here? Bonds to glossy and other hard, shiny surfaces to allow effective painting. So it's like a primer, if you will. And I did 2 coats of this. So I let, it says on here, let dry for 2 to 3 hours, recoat, let dry overnight. So I have actually let it dry for 2 days. There's 2 coats on the floor right now. And that's the key, I think. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll prime, let it dry, and start painting right away. And I think that that's where people run into problems, and the paint doesn't adhere properly, or it starts to come up sooner than later, etc., because they don't let the primer cure. So, just kind of put that in the back of your mind when you're priming something, anything, even furniture or cabinets or whatever. So, but the key is the prep, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'd never paint my tile, or I've never thought to paint my tile, I didn't know I could do that. People are saying, let's see how it looks in, a couple of months, etc., etc. So, but I have no doubt in my mind that this is going to look as good as it did the first day that I'm done in 3, 6, 9 months. Anyway, so moving on, I'm going to do 2 coats of cotton, so it's white, and then I'm going to, so today I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do 1 coat of this because I want to let it dry, and then I'll do another coat. So I'll do 2 coats of this. So it's a nice even layer look. And then I'm going to use the stencil. And I got this stencil from Stencil Revolution, and I'll put a link to their store as well, so that if you want to take a look at different stencils, etc., etc. So I'm going to use I haven't decided, but I brought up a couple of different, so this is Moonshine, it's metallic, and this is Caribbean from Dixie Belle. You can get it from that link that I posted, or from your local retailer. And then this is Pacific, It's more of a blue. This one's more of a tealy green blue, and then this is like a true blue. So I haven't quite decided, and then I might even throw in some steel magnolia as well, depending, because I was kind of thinking that I do this center large part in the blue, and then these 4 middle parts in the steel magnolia. So so I'll be doing that tomorrow probably. And then to seal it, this is the other key, is to get a good sealer and to make sure that the paint that you've set down is dried really well, not just with a few hours. And then I'm going to apply gator hide on top of it. I'm going to do 2 to 3 thin coats of gator hide and let dry really, really well. So a lot of paints, they cure, 28 days or so, and at that point you can barely even scratch the stuff off. So I think that's where a lot of people are get discouraged, because they get a scratch in their paint or whatever before it's even cured, or they try to like do the scratch test days after paint has been painted, but a lot of paint doesn't fully cure for about a month. So just kind of, like I said, keep that in the back of your mind as well. So let's get started. I'm gonna just put these paints up and get that stuff out of my way. Get this, I'm gonna put the stencil in the bathtub for now. And yeah, whoever, if you have any questions or anything, please, feel free to post there and just let me know your questions, and yeah, and I'll try and answer them the best that I can. And I'm using a foam roller and a brush to apply the paint. And I haven't taped anything off. I taped this one spot off because this is, I just painted this, I painted this a while ago, but I painted it and I didn't want to get any white on it. So I have a foam roller and a brush to cut it in, and I've got my tray. And I'm just gonna pour some cotton Dixie Belle. And for those of you that are just joining, I went through all the prep that I've done to get to this point of painting, and it's important to prep anything that you paint really properly, especially like tile, cabinets, because you get all the grease, the oils from your fingers and stuff like that, and that's what happens when the paint doesn't stick properly or adhere and it starts to rub off. It's because it wasn't prepped properly. So prep is really, really important. Steel wool, white lightning, all that stuff. So hi Ashley, how are you? How's California? So I just poured some paint into my tray. I'm just gonna close it so that it doesn't dry. So you can paint your floor any color. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Alright, so I like to get my brushes a little bit damp. Hang on a second. You don't want it dripping wet, but that way your brush and your roller doesn't soak up a ton of paint. And also, once paint gets into this part of your brush, it's so hard to get out. So if you dampen your brush first, the water beats the paint to this area, and so then you don't have as much of a problem to get the paint out. So again, it's just damp, they're not soaking wet, and I'm just looking to see where I should start. So that you can see, I mean, it's just basically painting, and the point of this video was to talk about prep and doing things properly, and making sure that you'll get a good result with your painting, because you know we spend a lot of time painting and you want it to look good, and it can be a pain in the butt to oh, I got one of my hairs. It can be a pain in the butt to sand it and then repaint it, and that, yeah. So you want to just do it right the first time, correct? And so I think what I'm going to do, I do ideally want to start from the back and work my way to the door. So, but for the sake of this video, I think I'm just going to do this part, and then I'll have a lane over here. So just so that I can get out and you guys can see what I'm doing. And then I'll end the video, and then I'll finish the rest of it, because I'm sure you really don't care to see me like paint. Hi Susie, how are you? Yeah, so I'm just getting a little bit of paint on my brush, and I don't want to I want my tray to be kind of close to where I'm painting, so I don't leave like a trail of paint, you know, leading over to my space, because you may have to sand that too if you don't see that. So I'm just going ahead and cutting in. I know you can't really see it, but I'm sorry. And I'm making sure that I'm getting in all the grout lines. And what I like to do, my practice is I use my brush for my grout lines, because the foam roller doesn't necessarily cover that really well, and make a good finish. Doesn't do much coverage. So I'm just painting. So the baseboard on this side is tile. So I primed it. I cleaned it really well. I primed it, and now I'm putting a layer of paint on there. And when you're painting like tile baseboards that have grout, you'll want to make sure to go back, because the paint will pool at the grout line, and so you just want to wipe that away, wipe the excess away, not excess. And again, I'm just bringing the paint out to the grout lines. Without leaving like a you know, a big line, because I want to be able to blend it in. I'm just going to paint these baseboards too while I'm here. Why not? So, I did my cabinets last week, and now I'm thinking of doing tile. Yeah, do it. How did your cabinets turn out? I'd love to see. Post a picture. I'd love to see what you did, Susie. So now I've got my foam roller, and I'm just gonna roll it. I mean, it's pretty easy, y'all. And again, I don't want to have any hard lines of paint. very excited to get this done. It's gonna look so different and so much more updated. I'm very, 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 very excited. You made a mess. Yeah, well, that happens. But you did it. And you know, you don't want your layer of paint to be too thick. You know, just as long as it's covering. And that's the great thing about Dixie Belle paint, is the coverage is spectacular. I just love it for furniture, cabinets, and this tile. You know, you can paint glass with Dixie Belle paint. So, as you can see, I don't know, do you guys have any questions? Because I really don't want to bore you guys with me painting just white. And the counters. I want to do the, yeah, I can do counters next. I'm actually going to, because this counter here is like a banjo type counter top where it goes over the toilet. I hate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this off. Oops. Cut this off, cut it to the wall here, take this out, and then I don't know if I'm going to paint it, but I'm going to use epoxy on it, and so, but that won't be for a little while because I'm actually having hip surgery on Tuesday, so I won't be up to too much right away, but yeah, so I want to get this done before Tuesday, and so I've got a couple of other projects that I was hoping to get done before, but my surgeon's office called and said, hey, we got a cancellation, so would you like it? And I said yes. So yeah. So this is the main focus right now, and then definitely if there's anything that you guys would like to see done, I would be happy to put that on the schedule for the new year and get that going. So I think maybe tomorrow I'll do another live doing the stencil. Would you guys like to see that? If so, give me a thumbs up or put it in the comments or whatever. I think that maybe we'll do around the same time, 10:30 or maybe even 10 Mountain Standard Time. And yeah, so that'll give this 24 hours to set and to dry, and then we will do the stencil that I showed you earlier this year for those of you that just joined. This is a Stencil Revolution stencil, and I will put a link to their website. It's an affiliate code for me where I will get a little bit of a, kickback to pay for my surgery. Any little bit helps, right? Here in the States. So thank you so much, Susie. I really appreciate it. Just need to do it by March. Okay, I think we can do that. I'm hoping to be back and at it by before Christmas. That's my goal. I will be non-weight bearing for 4 weeks on crutches, and that's gonna suck, but it's something that I've been dealing with for 10 years, and it's high time to do something about it while I'm still young. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you all have a great Saturday, and I'll put another event. I'll create another event for tomorrow morning at 10 Mountain Standard Time to do the stenciling, to show you how to do the stenciling. And it'll probably be 30 minutes or so, but you can always see the replay and go from there. And like I said, you can get all the products that I'm using, with the exception of that stencil from the link that I put up above, to Dixie Belle, and that also is an affiliate code for me, just to help me out a little bit financially. You know, this is my small business, and any little bit helps. So, oh, thank you, Susie. Thank you for sharing. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, feel free to share the event that I'm going to create for tomorrow's portion of the floor painting, and I really appreciate you guys. So I'm going to get back to painting before my brush and my roller dry out. Okay, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.